and actually coming to events like this and listening to people talk like Kevin re-energises you. So I've got a lot from this morning's event.
Kevin was great. He clearly comes across as a great leader, very inspirational, and got some great ideas that can help most businesses, if not all businesses, go forwards.
Me, who's only 15, not had any experience in business or anything like that, you could understand what he was going on about.
And people deal with each other. If we want to be a high-performing team, we have to deal with each other in a particular way. Show respect. Challenge, but respectful challenge. Be open. Listen. Learn. Learn from everybody. I've been invited along by the Centre for Leadership Performance to talk about how do you develop companies? How do you take ordinary people and achieve outstanding, extraordinary results? And that's what I'll be sharing with the audience today. It was a lesson in life to me that if you want to build a successful business, then you, as the leader of that business or that division or that department or whatever that team is, you have to set the standard. You have to show people how we're going to run this business. What's the culture? What's the ethics? How are we going to relate to each other if we're going to build a truly successful business? The best way a leader can help any team to achieve something extraordinary is to make sure there's clarity of vision. Where are we going and what does success look like? Once we understand that, then the growth will follow because we're aligning everybody. We're making sure people actually are able to contribute. People want to do a good job. Everyone on the team wants to do a good job. My role as a leader is to create the culture whereby they can achieve that, whereby they can actually see how they make a difference. That just motivates people to go on and do more.
Access to finance can be a particular problem for small businesses and medium-sized businesses. What's your advice on how firms should tackle that particular issue?
You know, access to finance has been a real issue recently. The first trick is make sure you need as little as possible. So keep your costs really, really under control. Don't go out and buy fancy premises or rent fancy premises, but then make sure you've got a clear business plan. Cash flow is critical. Cash is king. Make sure you can go to your bank manager or your funder or your investor and give them clarity about when will we pay this money back? Where's your business going? And make sure you know and are confident about what you're going to bring back to the party. Sharing knowledge for any business is critical. I learn a lot. Last evening I had dinner and I sat with a shop steward. I sat with a guy who's got 20 years experience of running units. I learned so much. In half an hour I learned more than I'll learn in 5 years of running a business. I'm now running a business for the first time. I've got quite a strong union working with me. I don't say working against me. People say, is it combative? No, we have the same objectives. But you know what? You can learn from anybody around you. The key to events like this is keep your ears open, listen, learn. There's a lot of experience out there. Women in business, I often get asked, are they different? Are they? Yes, they are different. Women do tend to think differently. My wife asks different questions than I do, but in business, that's great. And frankly, in my experience, I've always wanted females in my senior team. The trick to creating a high-performing team is to recognise that everybody brings different skill sets, different strengths and different challenges, and it's pulling those together and getting the best from everybody.
Just to give a bit of background about the Centre for Leadership Performance, it was established in July 2011 with initial funding from the Nuclear Management Partners and Britain's Energy Coast. The aim of the centre is to develop leadership and management capability across Cumbria. So working with all sectors, not just energy, all sectors across Cumbria, with firms, large and small, with individuals and teams and organisations, and with young people. So a big welcome to the students here today. Our aim is to encourage and nurture talent and aspiration in Cumbria for economic growth.
One of the challenges in business is having the strength of a big firm and the agility of a small firm. And something that we've done very successfully, I think, in some of the businesses I've worked with, is we've seconded people. We've taken somebody from a big firm, put them in a small firm. They've taken some skills, process, knowledge with them, but they've brought back a different perspective. And then we've invited some of the small firms to come in and actually present how they run their business to us as an executive team to make sure that we don't have big barriers, we don't have process that actually stifles the business. I'm very fortunate. In my personal career, I work in both. So I chair small firms and I work in big firms. And it allows me to see the benefits of both and transfer that agility and prompt people, say, hey guys, think differently, open your minds. This is the way we've always done it, fine. Well, let's challenge ourselves, let's think differently, and let's look for a new way of actually moving faster. Today is all about speed.
The greater the diversity in the local area, the better it is for us in terms of our recruitment ambition, and the better it is generally for the firm's population. So that's essentially why we've agreed to sponsor this event today. We're hoping that it's going to inspire future generations to look to us for careers in the local area, and we're hoping that it's going to inspire our supply chain to take this.
What's the best advice you've ever been given as an individual?
The best advice I was ever given as an individual was when I was downsizing a company. It was my first role as a CEO, and I had to make 50% of the staff redundant. It was a horrible, horrible situation. And somebody said to me, when you go through the pain of doing that, keep a diary. Because when it turns around and starts getting good, you'll forget how painful that was. I kept a diary. I never want to go through that again.
What would your advice be to a graduate or a student who dreams of being an entrepreneur? What would be the key message to get out there and achieve that dream?
You know, if I was a young person today, or if I was getting advice, the kind of advice I'd want would be get your skill first. Get your core training, whether that's a degree in science or engineering or something else, but get that core skill. Give yourself access through that gate, then look for the opportunity. Open your mind. There's a whole world of opportunity out there, and then go for it.
I want to be an architect, but this has really inspired me to make my own business and leave my own impression on everything I do. So it's really inspiring.
There's a great need for us to interact more with the youngsters. There's not the old opportunities for jobs for life, and they need to know how to interact with businesses, perhaps contemplate self-employment, and everything that was said today could form a foundation for their future. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
I thought he was really down to earth. I didn't know whether he was going to be some strange person who wasn't human at all, but he's just like everyone else, and he's really friendly and had some good things to say.
You know, when I started on my career, I wanted to be an engineer. I was a civil engineer, and I realised that wasn't going to give me the breadth I wanted, so I went off and I studied for an MBA. Then I worked in a chemical company and learned more about process and about commercial issues. And then I sat down one day and I wrote myself a 5-year plan. And I do, every now and then I sit down and I actually cast myself forward 4 or 5 years. Where am I going to be? Is it recognisable? No, it does change. But I could take you to my workbooks and I could pick out every 4 years and I could show you that plan. And it's kind of followed that path.
Well, everyone I've spoken to has taken something away from today's masterclass. People have said to me, I'm going to go back to work right now and get some brown paper and put the ideas map on the wall. The young people have talked about how inspiring Kevin's story was and how he didn't set out to become a superstar entrepreneur, and that path in life is available to everybody if you've got the passion and the commitment and the willingness to work.
There's no such thing in business as an omnia. If we want to build our businesses, we want to create something that's extraordinary, then it's about having the plan, the vision of success, that cascade of a simple business plan, and then inviting everybody to get involved, inviting everybody to be included in making it happen, engaging them. Because you know what? Our job is to believe that we can get there. It's to inspire that confidence. It's the team's job to go out and achieve it and make it happen. Thank you very much for your time.